Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Sanaya Johnson.
And I'm Seth Martin. Welcome to Big Blue Banter.
Kentucky basketball's annual Big Blue Madness event kicks off tomorrow night. Both men and women will showcase their teams before the season starts with a series of scrimmages and skills competitions in Rupp Arena. With one of the best recruiting classes in recent history and the continuous hype around the Wildcats year in and year out, Coach John Calipari is ramping up for another potential title run. When asked about the Cats' recent lack of success, Coach Cal stated that winning 25 games a year and not being in the Final Four, that's not Kentucky good. Now let's see where we are. Let's get this young team. Let's get some big eyes. Nothing changes. Big Blue Nation is no stranger to hyped up recruiting classes. However, the level of excitement this year's team is bringing to campus is overwhelming. On top of high school recruits, Coach Cal's white whale of the season was securing and working towards admitting the Croatian 7-footer, Bonimir Bizic, who is reportedly on campus this week and may be a part of the Big Blue Madness festivities.
With Memorial Coliseum under construction, Kentucky women's basketball is taking over Rupp Arena. The team has several returners this year along with a smaller roster. At the Women's Basketball Annual Media Day on Tuesday, Coach Elsie and players expressed their hope that this squad's chemistry and experience will give them a solid start this season.
I would say I'm very excited just about seeing how well this team fits together on the floor. Like I've told so many other people, we mesh so well off the floor in terms of hanging out and team bonding just on our own. I know that'll translate onto the court.
This year, I think the chemistry on the court will help us early. We have a great non-conference schedule. Obviously, the conference is a gauntlet that the non-conference will prepare us. But I just think older, wiser, and more experience at that guard spot will help us.
Kentucky has just 2 freshmen on the roster this season, meaning that the experience Coach Elsie discussed will definitely be something the team will hope to use to its advantage this year. You can catch the Wildcats at Rupp Arena for their first exhibition game on Tuesday, November 7th.
Mark Shoemaker is the head baseball student manager for this next season. Molly Dimrow has more on why he pursued this path in college and what his responsibilities are.
It's an early morning here in Kentucky Proud Park as the baseball student managers are here to set up for practice. The 5 managers make their way to the field to start their morning doing what they love and devote so much of their time to. Mark Shoemaker, a junior at the University of Kentucky and the head manager for this season, shared why he chose this path in college.
I decided to be a student manager once my playing career was over. I always wanted to work in UK athletics, and working for the baseball team has been a dream come true. Being the head manager this year has been very rewarding. I have been able to use the past 2 years of my experience to be able to lead the new guys and make it more enjoyable for all of us.
Mark and the rest of the student managers have many roles when it comes to practices and games. They arrive at the field at 7:30 a.m. to set up for practice, and on game days, they are at the field hours before a game and sometimes even hours after.
Most responsibilities of being a student manager start with setting up practice. Sometimes we have to participate in drills. Some of us will throw BP, hit fungos, catch bullpens for the pitchers, and just all the other odds and ends jobs like laundry and handing out equipment. In the springs when the season is going on, every other weekend usually we are on the road to the major SEC schools. That is something that I never thought I'd get to do, and definitely an experience that I'll remember forever.
If you'd like to keep up with Mark and the rest of the UK baseball student managers, follow them on X at UKBaseball_MGRS. I'm Molly Dimrow with Big Blue Banter.
You can catch Mark and the baseball student managers preparing for a new season in the spring.
On this week's edition of Betting Banter, we're discussing some more college and NFL games. Here's our betting expert, Aaron Benjamin, with his best picks for this upcoming weekend.
Hey guys, welcome back to Betting Banter. I'm Aaron Benjamin. Here are my top 5 picks for this weekend's slated games. All lines are provided by FanDuel Sportsbooks. First up, I'm taking the Detroit Lions to cover the spread -3 against the Buccaneers. The Lions are getting hot. They have won their last 3 games. I like them in this one. Second, the Buffalo Bills and the New York Giants hit the over 44.5. I expect Josh Allen and the Bills offense to put up a lot of points in this one. They should win. Third, I'm taking the Braves to cover the spread -1.5 runs against the Phillies. Braves need a win to stay in this series, and Spencer Strider gives them their best chance to win this game. I like the Braves in this one. Fourth, the number 8 ranked Oregon Ducks and the number 7 ranked Washington Huskies hit the over 67.5. These two programs have high scoring offenses, so don't be surprised to see the ball being moved a lot in this game. And last but not least, UK to cover the spread -2.5 against Missouri. UK did not look good on the road against Georgia, but they will bounce back in front of the home crowd. And remember, these are just recommendations, not assurances, folks. Make sure you bet responsibly. Seth and Sanaya, back to you.
Coming up, Kentucky students break silence after a brutal loss to Georgia on the road. We'll be right back.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
On Saturday, the Kentucky Wildcats lost 51-13 to the Georgia Bulldogs in Sanford Stadium down in Georgia. We gave students the opportunity to voice their opinions on their confidence in the football team after this past weekend's performance, as UK heads into a tough slate of the season. The slate includes home game against Tennessee and Alabama, while also heading on the road several times to face familiar foes in South Carolina and Louisville.
We got Tennessee, Missouri, Alabama coming up. I mean, none of them, you can't sleep on any of them, but I mean, after watching how those teams have played, I mean, they're not Georgia. So I think the confidence is pretty high. We have a pretty good chance to at least beat a few of those teams. I like to see them beat all the teams, but I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, season's not over. We can do it.
I definitely think we should be good. We should be good for the rest of this season. I think the only two that we might have possibilities of losing would be Alabama and Tennessee. But I think other than that, I would hope, win every other game.
The Kentucky Wildcats start the next chapter of their 2023 season on Saturday in Kroger Field against the Missouri Tigers. The game is set to kick off at 7:30 and is being broadcast on SEC Network.
Today, we'll be diving deeper into last weekend's unfortunate loss to Georgia with the help of some film breakdown. Here's our analyst, Aaron Benjamin, with his thoughts on the game.
Welcome to our first edition of Film Room. I'm Aaron Benjamin. We'll look at highlights and lowlights for the Wildcats as they were defeated Saturday in Athens. We start off with Georgia quarterback Carson Beck as he rifles a 40-yard touchdown pass to Marcus Rosemy-Jack Saint for the first score of the game, putting the defending national champions on the board. After the game was 14-0 in favor of number 1 Georgia, they worked the ball down the UK's 5-yard line when tight end Oscar Delp caught a wide-open pass in the end zone to extend the lead to 21. Halfway through the second, Kentucky worked its way into the red zone with a combination of running, passing, and penalties. They found pay dirt with a 4-yard pass to tight end Josh Caddis from quarterback Devin Leary. Georgia struck again with a 5-yard Kendall Milton run as UK's defense struggled to halt Georgia's progress. After a UK 3-and-out, Carson Beck showed perhaps his only flaw of the game with an interception that went right into the hands of a jumping Maxwell Hairston, who then returned it to the Georgia 28, giving Kentucky excellent field position. 2 plays later, Leary threw a 26-yard touchdown pass to running back Ray Davis to give the Cats 13 points on the game. Kentucky would net no more points from then on as the number 1 team in the nation would score 2 more times to get to 51. Kentucky will look to rebound at home against Missouri this Saturday night. The Cats will also have 2 more ranked matchups at home in Alabama and Tennessee this season. Seth and Sanaya, back to you.
The Los Angeles 2028 Olympic and Paralympic Organizing Committee has proposed 5 new sports for the 2028 Games, including the addition of flag football. The proposal will be reviewed and put forward by the International Olympic Committee's Executive Board for ratification on October 16th. An IOC spokesperson said that the proposal for the additional sports in 2028 has been well received, adding, "We are looking forward to the upcoming presentations." Superstar NFL wide receiver Tyreek Hill also tweeted about the news on Monday with a gold medal in mind, where he said, "Calling all NFL guys, let's bring one home." If a proposal goes through, Hill and potentially many more of the NFL's best players could team up and will likely open as heavy favorites to compete for the first ever flag football gold medal.
Coming up, hear about a new generational prospect making his NHL debut at only 18 years old.
And hear a heartwarming story about a group of elementary school kids running in honor of their classmate. All of this after the break.
Sarah, you got this, okay? But they lost.
Not really. Not where it counts. Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. Sir, wait! What? I can't drive. Why? Why? Oh.
Baltimore Oilers pitcher Dean Kramer wore a Star of David necklace to honor his family in Game 3 of the Texas Rangers series earlier this week. Though the Oilers' impressive season came to a halt following the series sweep, Kramer reminds the fans that things are bigger than just sports. Kramer is a dual Israeli-American citizen and his family members who currently live in Israel. Despite the turmoil, in an interview with CNN, he said there was never a doubt whether he'd play or not against the Rangers. No, I still want to pitch, but it's going to be in the back of my head, obviously. It's a very sad situation. A lot of things are being brought to light, but everybody's okay right now, and almost every single person in the clubhouse has come in and checked on me. The Rangers' win over the Oilers made Baltimore just the second team in MLB history to avoid a series sweep in regular season and be knocked out by a sweep in the postseason. However, the conflict in Israel will likely set the Oilers' offseason efforts on rallying around Dean Kramer and his family.
18-year-old Connor Bedard made his heavily anticipated NHL debut earlier this week for the Chicago Blackhawks in their 4-2 win over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Bedard had been labeled as a generational talent leading up to his debut and was able to make an impact in his first game, providing an assist to one of the Blackhawks' 4 scorers. The young star faced off against Sidney Crosby, the Penguins' veteran star, who was similarly valued as a generational talent, and the two went toe-to-toe all game long. A shocking 18-year age gap separates the two stars. Bedard earned his way to the NHL with his impressive play in the Western Hockey League, where he finished atop the league in goals, points, and points per game. He was also the first player in Canadian Hockey League history to sweep the Player of the Year, Top Prospect, and Top Scorer awards. No player had won all 3 since the Top Scorer award was introduced in 1994.
A heartfelt story comes all the way from Tempe, Arizona. Elementary school kids completed a 5K run to represent their classmate Michael Corzona, who was diagnosed with a rare form of brain cancer at just 3 years old.
He had his first brain surgery 10 days before his 4th birthday. He then went through aggressive chemotherapy.
Those amazing kids not only hope to shine a light on their classmate Michael, but they also want to help raise awareness about the urgent need to increase funding in rare childhood cancer research. That's all for Big Blue Banter today. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you again next Thursday. Have a great night.